tip is often used by software development teams or any other kind of product or project team. So it's a really great way of starting off a large item of work. If you're working in agile software development, these are quite often related to starting work on an epic. And the idea of this requirements template is that you capture a lot of the information or the background of why you need this item of work developed first in something like Confluence, so you can start refining it and discussing it with your team before you include it in Jira as an epic or break it down into stories to work on. So again, if I can go to your space that you have, maybe it's a space for the product that you're working or the project you're part of, and use the 3 dots button to open up the templates menu. This one here is the product requirements template, and it gives you a little bit of information about how you use the tool. I'm going to talk you through that anyway. First thing is we start with a page title, and I'm going to just be a bit cheeky and call this my whizzy new feature. And we'll start by creating an epic, or we could link to an existing epic. And I'm going to choose to create a new one here. We need to choose the project it's part of, and then because it's an epic, it can be any sort of issue type, but this particular one I want to use as an epic. Choose the epic issue type. And I need to give it a name. I'm going to call this my whizzy new feature again. And I'm going to use that in both the summary and the epic name. Keep it nice and simple. I could add some more details such as the description if I wanted to at that point as well. That there has automatically made this into a Jira issue, so we can they'll exist on the epic back. I could include some other owners of the document if I want to as well at this point, so I could mention people using the @ symbol. So maybe I'll mention Gary or something like that as being the product designer. When I save the page or publish it, he will then get a notification to say where he's been mentioned in the page. Remember that this is in Confluence, so if you've got collaborative editing, you can have multiple people even working remotely collaborating on this page and editing at the same time if it's useful to do so. We set out some goals of what we're trying to achieve with this new piece of work that we're suggesting we do. Might mention where it fits in the strategy of the product development. Maybe lots of customers are asking for this. Maybe it enhances an existing feature. That sort of information is very valuable to developers who are going to work on it. And you might want to list any assumptions we've had about how people are using. These can be things that might need some research or something like that, or might even do just sort of stating assumptions about things we won't do as part of the epic if you want to as well. Any kind of assumptions that are relevant to the work. You can just break this down and save it at this point, or you can start breaking the requirements down into separate stories. I'm going to show you that as part of the demonstration, just to show you how you can then create backlog items in Jira linking to the epic above. So I'm going to create a few user stories here, and I'm going to give it, sorry, perhaps we're just going to call this requirement 2 and requirement 3. So that. Right. A couple of other questions at the bottom, maybe some interactions, mock-ups. Because it's Confluence again, we can include diagrams. There's quite a few diagramming and flowchart tools. Quite often when I'm working with agile teams, they might even have whiteboarded a lot of this information. So you might have photographs of whiteboards that you want to include as well. Any other questions or anything else can all be added to these templates. Now this is a brilliant out-of-the-box template, and a lot of customers of mine successfully use it just as it is. But if there are different sections you want to add or you want to take bits away, just remember that you can modify these templates to suit your own business as well. So I'm going to publish the pages, and then I will show you, just reminding me how to find the product requirements. So it creates a location on the page just for navigating to product requirements. That at the top there has created the link to the epic that we showed you creating a bit earlier. If I click into that, it would take me to Jira straight away, so I could transition it, start working on it, or work on it in Jira. This is where we get down to the table. If I then highlight these 3 issues here, hover the mouse over the text for a few seconds, and you see there's a Jira logo there. If I click that, it will remind me what I'm doing, which is to create some Jira issues from the content, and I can create at least one, or I can create a whole table full, which I'm doing in this case here. Now, the important thing is if you're working from a table, you need to just click this link that tells Confluence that you're creating multiple tickets at the same time. The title is the field. So first of all, there's the project and the issue type. I'm going to create stories for this case. The summary is going to come out of the title page. If I had a description I'd entered into the table, it would pick that up as well. And we can choose which column to have in there. And it's just reminding me that we're going to be creating 3 issues or stories, and they're going to link to this epic that's at the top of the page. There's a create button. And the magic is when this page then refreshes, it's created 3 issues. And these are linked to Jira, and you can see all of these are in the to-do status. So this document from this point on becomes a living document. And it's, as the issue statuses change in Jira, you'll see this page update with the status of the issue. So you can always see what things are being worked on and then drill into it to get more information.